All right, everyone. So welcome to our first ever adaptive yoga class. My name is Shannon Brassman, and I'm going to give you a little bit of context for this class prior to starting. So this class is meant for anyone who wants to look at yoga postures in a different way, and or anyone who may have a limited range of motion, particularly from the waist down, or if you struggle with balance, this is going to be a great class for you. What I don't want to have anyone read into is like easy. I think the reason I didn't call it chair yoga is because I think when you see chair yoga, people instantly think like, oh, that's going to be easy or for a very specific group. I'm trying to keep this broad so that it does tailor to a broader group, and then we can start to make yoga a little bit more accessible. I am a huge fan of props, and props just make poses more accessible and they make them harder. So it's not always that it makes them easier. It sometimes gives us a new challenge. So I invite anyone to take this class that's really curious about changing up their yoga practice, and specifically if you're working with any of the challenges I mentioned before. So you will need a chair. If you don't have a chair, the end of a bed will work. We're going to be pivoting our body on the prop. So you'll need to be able to move yourself, like seated on it, kind of pivot side to side with your legs. So if it's an armchair, that's going to make that challenging as well. So you'll see behind me, I've got an old school folding chair. And that's what I would say is like the best, but alternatively, the end of a bed where you can sit and put your feet on the ground is going to be really awesome. So 45-minute class, we're going to go ahead and get going. If you want to put on some light music in the background or anything like that, feel welcome. We're going to start sitting up on our chair, whatever you've got close enough to that. And let's start with the feet flat. And if you can, get your thigh bones parallel to the ground. If you're sitting on something that's lower, you can always take blankets and put them underneath your tush to get that. And if you're sitting on something higher, you could always place blocks or books underneath your feet to get your thigh bones parallel. So take as long as you need to get that. And once you do, let's find neutral spine. So just the natural curves of our spine will show from the side. The cervical spine has that gentle curve towards the front of the throat. Our thoracic spine has a gentle curve outward. And then our lumbar spine has a gentle curve as well. So a lot of us tend to do what's called a posterior tilt of our pelvis, where we turn our pelvis kind of front of the pelvis upward. Challenge yourself to point the tip of the front of the pelvis straight down. And you can actually touch your low back and try to find that natural curve. So it might take a little manipulating, permission in this class to touch yourself. But try to find that place where you have that natural curve without all your guts spilling out. Okay, so once you find the cervical, thoracic, and lumbar curves intact, go ahead and just softly tone your belly. So we're not holding our breath, we're not squeezing our lunge, we're not trying to fit into new pants. Just a soft toning, so when you touch your abdomen, you can feel your muscles are gently engaging. And then allow the hands to rest on the lap, the shoulders to soften down the back, close the eyes. And arrive here for a moment in your body. Feel your feet on the floor or props below you. Maybe wiggle your toes a bit. Feel your seat on the chair or bed. Maybe wiggle from side to side, processing the connection between your seat and the texture of whatever you're sitting on. Feel the suspension of your torso in the air without feedback. Maybe slightly draw your shoulder blades together so that the heart space expands. And take one of your hands, just place it at the crown of your head. Try to lift the crown of your head into your hand. And then lightly set your hand back down, creating a little more length in your spine. Deep breath in. Full breath out. Again, deep breath in. Big breath out. One more deep breath in. Big breath out. Now bring your hands to your heart center, bow your chin towards your chest. This week we are focusing on Parvati, the other half of Shiva. Her superpower is creativity and power. They go together, creation and power. So we are diving into a whole new world, you know what I mean? With a chair as our yoga prop. A chair is almost our yoga mat. So give yourself permission to embody this power of creativity, that everything I say is a suggestion. Feel empowered and give yourself permission to play, to discover ways that work for you, maybe beyond what I offer, and to be empowered by your beautiful body and all the ways it works. So take a deep breath in. As you exhale, seal that intention of permission to be powerful in your body, in your creativity of the poses. Softly open your eyes. And we'll take the right hand down to the side of whatever you're sitting on. Stretch the left arm up as you inhale. And exhale, laterally bend over to the side. Keep your left sitting bone pressing down. So it'll be easy to kind of tilt into the right. Can you keep that sitting bone down to then further leverage the side bend? Inhale back through center, left hand down, right arm up. Exhale over to the other side. Same thing, press down through your right sitting bone to rotate into the left side, reach into the left side. Inhale back through center. Left hand's gonna go to your right knee, right hand's gonna go behind you, or if you have the back of the chair, use the back of the chair to twist. Inhale back through center. Exhale over to the other side, just going gently. Starting to find a little movement, coordination with breath. As you inhale, come back through center. Then exhale, we're just gonna fold over our legs. So belly to our thighs, chin tucks towards chest. If you already wanna take this a little bit further, you could slide your heels further, starting to straighten the legs a bit. My knees are still bent. And when I did that, I had to let go of my hands to use them as a support. They could be on your feet, your shins. So find, again, empowerment and creativity. We're looking for a stretch in our hamstrings and or somewhere in our back. So play around to find that. And then sink into the pose, breathe into the pose. And as you inhale, start to roll up. You might need to firm your feet on the ground to make that happen. Otherwise, just roll up. Place your feet back down on the ground or mat if they're not already. And depending on your balance ability, you might use your hands on the chair, or you might take your arms overhead. We're gonna press into our feet and push our knees slightly out. So pinky edge side of the foot is where the energy is going, but the whole foot is down. So look down at your foot. Big toe and pinky toe side of the foot are pressing down. Inner and outer heel are pressing down. But then my knees are starting to track over towards the pinky toe. And actually, let's all take our hands to the outsides of our knees and push your hands into your knees into your hands, so you feel your outer hip muscles fire. And then return your hands either to the sides of the chair or overhead. Keep those muscles activating. Keep pushing into all four corners of your feet. Inhale. Exhale, option to push so far into your feet, you lift your seat about 2 inches off of the chair, coming into actual chair pose. Or stay on the chair, keep your hands there, and just imagine you're lifting your seat up. Now we're all gonna stand up. So if you have your hands on the chair, your bum on the chair, you'll use your hands to help you up, or stand up from chair. Take your hands behind your head. You might widen your stance a bit more. All four corners of the feet down. Soft bend in the knees, spread through the elbows, inhale. As you exhale, hug navel up and in, and come halfway or a quarter of the way down, depending on how you feel. So show from the side, either we're here or we're coming halfway down, but we want to keep that length in the spine. So if you feel yourself rounding, come back up a bit. Inhale, stand up, push your hips forward, take a little back bend. Exhale, back down into what we're calling a good morning stretch. So looking for an opening in the hamstrings. Our low back and mid back muscles are having to work. Inhale, stand up, open your hips. Exhale, back down. One more, inhale, stand up, open the hips. And exhale, back down. Stay here for the inhale. Hands can stay behind your head, stretch over your head, or reach for the chair. As you exhale, reverse your chair pose and sit back down. So that's our little warm up. We're gonna do that 2 more times, and each time I'll add a little bit more challenge. You can always just repeat what we did before. So right hand down the side of the chair, left arm up, inhale. Exhale, side bend to the right. Option to take the left hand behind the head and start to tip the left elbow up to the sky, opening up to the left side of the chest. Maybe the left armpit. One more inhale here. Left sitting bone heavy. Exhale, sit back up. Left hand down, right arm up, inhale. Exhale, over to the left, maybe hand behind the head. Tip the elbow up, inhale. Drag the elbow long and towards the ceiling. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, rise back up. Inhale, right hand to the back of your chair space. Left hand to your right knee. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, twist. Option to stay here or start to lean your left forearm or even your left elbow, maybe resting your head in your hand to go a little deeper in that twist. Inhale, come back up through center. Use your core to make that happen. Exhale, over to the other side. So again, we can stay with hand on knee, or we can start to lean forearm or even elbow down. Maybe resting the head there, twist. Inhale, come back up through center. Exhale, forward folding again. This time, maybe just taking one leg all the way straight. So my left foot is down, my right leg is forward. And if your hands don't reach the ground, they can stay on your thighs or your shins. We're really getting into that right hamstring. You can always repeat both legs and just walking the feet out slowly, or that right leg is here for 3, 2, and 1. You can, if both legs are symmetrical, stay there. If your right leg is extended, pull your right leg in, and then take your left leg out. So same thing on the other side, getting into the left hamstrings. Slow and steadily breathe in. Breathe out. For 3, 2, and 1. If your left leg is extended, bring it in. Both knees bend. Inhale, lift up, arms up. Push your knees out towards the pinky edge of your foot, firm through all 4 corners of your feet. Either stay here with your arms up or shift your weight into your feet. Pick your hips up 2 inches off the chair. Hold for 3. Push those knees out. Get your outer hips toning. 2. And 1, everybody stand up in any way you can. Take those hands behind your head, separate your feet slightly wider. Inhale, take a back bend, let those elbows spread wide. Exhale, soft bend in the knees, lengthen the spine as you come halfway down. Inhale, lengthen. Again, if you can't come halfway with a lengthened spine, just go a quarter of the way down. Inhale, stand up, little back bend. Exhale, come halfway down, maybe stay here. Or challenge to stretch your arms forward. So weighting the pose, if that's too much in your low back, go back. Inhale here. Exhale, hips to the chair, arms overhead, chair pose. Nice job. We'll do all of that one more time. Right hand down the side of the chair, left arm up, inhale. Maybe hand behind your head as you exhale, side bend. Inhale, back through center. Left hand down, right arm up or behind the head. Exhale. Side bend. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, twist. Maybe left elbow outside right knee. Push your knee into your elbow. Maybe right palm touches left. A little deeper twist. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, over to the other side. Again, hand to the chair. One forearm down or hands in prayer. Inhale, back through center. Either fold over your legs, extend your right leg, or try to pick your right leg up. You can have a soft bend in the knee. I'll show from the side as you start to stretch into that hamstring a little bit deeper. You can even pull your elbows wide and fold over your legs. So find a forward fold that works for you. 3. Keep picking your spine up. 2. And 1. If you have your right leg extended, go ahead and bend the right knee. And then lift or extend the left leg to go to the other side. You might find on one side you need a different version. So again, giving yourself permission to be creative. Breathe. 3, 2, and 1. Start to pick yourself back up. Feet on the ground. Hands behind the head or hands overhead. Push down through your feet. Press out through your knees. Inhale. Use your hands on the seat if you need to, or exhale, hover your seat over the chair for 3. Push those knees out. Fire your glutes. 2. And 1. We'll all come up to standing, hands behind the head. Inhale. Open up, little back bend. Exhale. Good morning. You might start to challenge holding the arms over the head the whole time, using your core as you inhale. Lift up, take those thumbs back. Exhale, halfway down. If it's too much on your low back, return your hands behind your head. Inhale, lift up. Remember, you can always just go a quarter of the way down. Exhale, let's hold wherever you are in your good morning stretch. Inhale. And exhale with control, hips back to the chair, arms overhead. Slowly release. Nice job. Let's go ahead and stand up. And this first round for our flow, so we're going to move into our flow. You want to keep the chair behind you. We're going to use it, and we're going to be pivoting our pelvis and our legs around it. So you'll stand in front of the chair. And let's first find Tadasana. So Tadasana is one of the most foundational poses, because if we can't stand well, just about anything else isn't going to go well. So turn your right heel into the left inner arch of your foot. And that's approximately going to be hip width distance. So spin that foot back out, look down at your feet. Your middle toe should be directly forward, which means the outer blades of your feet might feel a little pigeon-toed. That's okay. Find all 4 corners of the feet like we did in chair. So big toe and pinky toe side of the foot, inner and outer heel. Let that translate up the leg. So as you press down through the feet, imagine like pulling energy out of the floor until you tone your quads. We're not locking out our knees, but we're squeezing the fronts of our thighs. Pulling that energy up into our pelvic bowl. So hug those muscles up and in. Pulling that energy into our core, same thing. Drawing the shoulders down and back. Letting the spine lengthen. You might take the hand to the crown of the head again. Lengthen the spine. And then bring the hands down by the side. So we're pressing into the floor and we're lifting out of the crown. So we're suspended like a mountain, deep into the earth and high into the clouds. Feel the strength of your stance here. Take a deep breath in and out. Now, if you have a lot of balance challenges, 1, this is something to work on always. 2, you can hold on to something while you're doing this. We're going to move into what are called heel pickups. So if you have no balance issues, you're going to stay in front of your chair. If you do, you want to walk behind your chair, finding Tadasana again, to use it to balance. So make your choice. I'm going to show this from the side, either using support or not. We're going to press down through our left foot and start to shift our weight over our left foot. Maybe just taking the right toes back, depending on what your balance situation is. Or maybe using our hamstrings to pull the right heel as high as we can. Just like good mornings, it might be halfway off the floor. It might be the heel all the way to the seat. Inhale here. Exhale, set the foot down, transfer the weight consciously, all 4 corners of the right foot, left toes on the ground, maybe left heel just slightly picks up. Maybe we use the hamstring to pull the whole foot up. We're gonna do that just a couple of times. So find your own rhythm, get creative with what your balance capacity is. Again, we can always use the chair or a wall as support if we're challenged there. Maybe we are challenging ourselves today. What I'm really curious about is getting those hamstrings to fire, because we're working towards Warrior 3, which requires hamstring and glute activation. So do a few more, just getting those hamstrings to fire. Maybe again, it's just tapping the toes, imagining the heel lifting up. And then if you're at the back of your chair, come back to the front of your chair. Take Tadasana feet again. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Exhale, slow and controlled. Reach your hips back, push your knees out. You can always reach your hands back to catch yourself. Good news though, your bum's the biggest part of you as you come down to actual chair pose. We're gonna take our hands to our hips, turn our left knee out. You might use your right hand on the center of the chair to take your right leg back. So if your mobility is challenged here, the knee can stay bent and use the back foot as flat as you can to help you gain leverage. If you've got a little bit more flexibility, we're gonna take the right leg as straight as we can get it, coming into Warrior Two. If you're used to doing Warrior Two without a chair, what's nice about the chair is it actually shows us what it would be like to have a 90-degree angle in our front thigh, which is a pretty common cue. So once you find your Warrior Two, might be here, might be here, we're looking for a broadening across the front and back groin muscles. So no pain in the knee. Get creative to find what works for you. Take those arms out nice and wide. Pause here. Press into your feet as if you were gonna lift your left butt cheek off of the chair. I don't think I could do that if I tried. But push into your legs as if you're gonna pull your butt off the chair. Hold for 3. Lengthen your spine. You might again employ your hand to press into the crown of the head. Lift up. Pull your ribs in. 2. Tone your belly as we did in the beginning of class 1. Keep all of that. Just gently set your left forearm to your left thigh. And as you inhale, extend your right arm up. Side angle. So now we're looking for a nice long stretch on the right side of the body. Again, we might bend the right knee. We need more assistance with the mobility. Inhale here. Exhale, stay. Keep toning the back leg if it's straight. Inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Good. Take your hands to the chair. We're going to pivot our pelvis to face the left leg. So it might take a little finagling. Your right leg can be bent. So if you need more stability, bend your back leg, keep your hands on the chair. If you need less stability, start to straighten the back leg. That will give you more mobility or stretching in the back hip flexor and a back bend. If it's too much on the low back, just bring your chest slightly forward. Okay, and then depending on where we are, we might keep the hands on the chair or stretch the arms up. And again, firm your legs as if you were gonna pick your butt off the chair. Hold for 3. Firm your legs, firm your belly. 2. And 1. Airplane pose, hands to the chair. Navel comes directly over that front thigh. And then you're gonna scoop your belly up and away from your front thigh. If it doesn't actually come off your belly, no big deal. But pull your belly in as if it could come off your front thigh. Hands can stay on the chair or take them back behind you, or more of a challenge, take them overhead. Hold for 3. Firm your legs as if you're gonna pick up your butt off the chair. Pull your belly away from your thigh. Push your left knee out like we did earlier towards the pinky toe side of the foot. 2. I'm talking a lot. 1. Exhale, slowly release. 2 options here. We can either step the foot in and take a forward fold from the floor, or we can stand up and use the chair to hold our arms as we come into a standing forward fold. So you can just turn around to face your chair, maybe getting those legs a little bit straighter and you're letting the chair or bed or whatever you've got support your head, your arms. Find your breath. One more breath. We're going to slowly make our way back up and find Tadasana again. So taking this to the other side, standing in front or behind your chair, because we're going to do those heel pickups. Find your Tadasana. If you're standing in front of your chair, get a little extra on the second side. So once you find all 4 corners of the feet, pressing down, feet hip width distance, all that energy pulling up, toning in, and then crown of the head lifting, arms come by your sides. As we start to take our heel pickups, you might, if you don't need the chair to hold on to, You might see if you can hit your heel on the apparatus that's behind you and try to pick it up. So when I do that, when I push my heel in and up into the chair, I fire my hamstrings in even more because it gives me feedback. So you might try that. You might not. You might not have a chair that works like that. So again, get creative, employ that Parvati energy to find your power, what works for you. We might just be sliding the toes back, working on balance. Go one more time each side. And then again, if you're behind your chair, come forward. Inhale, reach the arms up. On the count of 5, we're gonna lower all the way to our chair. So exhale, push your hips back. 5, push your knees out. 4, tone your belly. 3, 2, and 1, sit down. Nice job. Taking your hands to the chair, take your right knee out. Take your left leg back. Again, left knee might be bent or we might fully extend. You might have to situate your pelvis so you get comfortable here. Firm through your legs as if you're going to pick your booty off of the chair, and then take your arms out to the side. Look over your front extended fingertips. Pull your belly in, maybe employ the hand to lengthen through the crown of the head. Hold here for 3. Keep toning your legs as if you're going to pull your right thigh off the chair. 2. And 1, nice job. Exhale, right forearm to your thigh, left arm overhead. Use the feedback of the chair to help you really arc your spine. Breathe in, breathe out. Keep firming your legs as if you're gonna lift your tush off the chair. 1 more breath. Exhale, hands come to the chair. Bend your back knee, pivot your pelvis to face your right leg. Option to stay here or straighten or work towards straighten the back leg. Option to stay here, slightly pitch forward if it's too much on the back, or maybe the arms go up overhead. Breathe in, breathe out. Again, pushing into your legs as if you were gonna pick your butt off the chair. Breathe in, breathe out. Last one, breathe in, and out. Nice. Hands can come to the chair, go behind you, or stretch overhead. Firm your front leg, push your right knee out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Again, we're coming into a forward fold, so sliding that leg forward and maybe just folding over the legs, or standing up and using the chair underneath your forearms, your head, to let that go. Nice job. Breathe in, breathe out. Get 1 more breathe in, and out. Great, we're gonna do this 1 more time. So find yourself slowly standing back up. If sitting on the chair gave you the most stability and you were finding a lot of interesting good things there, rework with the chair. If you wanna challenge your balance and the flow a little bit more, we're gonna stand up and use the chair for our hands as support. So I flipped mine to face away. If you have a bed, you're just gonna turn around and face the bed. I highly don't recommend moving the bed unless it's movable. But we're just gonna be using it as a support. Okay, so again, a couple little heel pickups or feet sliding back once you find Tadasana. Let's go about 3 each side, just getting our hamstrings on line. You might even on the last one see if you can tap your heel to your hand if you're getting it that high. Okay, and then stabilize through your feet again. Reach your hips back. Tone the outer hips by pushing the knees out. Chair pose. Because I'm facing this direction, we're gonna have the left leg down. I think that's correct anyway. As we shift our weight to our left foot, maybe little baby steps, maybe we hold the chair, maybe we slide back until we open up warrior 2. So again, get creative with how you safely get back there. And you can use the chair for support. You could be closer to the chair to use support or further away. Maybe you don't need it for this round. So imagining all the same things, if we're no longer sitting on the chair, if we are, do all those things. If we're not, imagine we're still sitting on the chair, we're trying to pull our legs together to come off the chair. Then try to get in the depth you were in sitting on the chair. Breathe in, Breathe out. One more, breathe in and out. Either seated on the chair, your forearm will come to your thigh, or left hand to the chair, right arm stretches overhead. Use that to both support you and help you reach longer. You might even bring your forearm to the chair. See if you can stretch even longer for side angle. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more, breathe in. Breathe out. Take your hands to the chair. If you're standing, if you're seated, you're just gonna rotate your pelvis again. We're taking crescent. Again, we can always bend the back knee to decrease the mobility, or we can straighten the back leg to increase mobility, increase balance challenge. Option is stay here with the hands on the chair, or start to lift your arms up for full crescent pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. If you're on the chair, imagine picking your hips up. Breathe in. Breathe out. Airplane pose. Either hands come to the chair as you lean your torso over your front thigh, or you might challenge your balance by stretching your arms back. Or our peak pose is going to be warrior three. So you might move yourself or the chair away from you as you see if you can pick up that back leg. But let's use the support here. So staying there if you are one-legged. If you're on the chair, it's almost impossible. I tried it earlier. But just see if you can pick your back leg up or have the energy of that and feel how your booty muscles really have to work there. So wherever you are, hold for 3. Tone your belly. Use those hamstrings and outer hips like we've done for 2. And 1. We're all gonna come to a forward fold. So either seated over your legs, forearms and head on the chair, or we can come into a supported down dog. Hands on our chair bed, stretching our hips back, trying to make a figure 7 with the body. Breathe in. Breathe out. And slowly make your way back up to seated or standing. We're all going to come to standing for Tadasana. Final side. You might have to move around your prop or move your prop like I am going to do. So standing in Tadasana one final time. Again, heel pickups. Let's just do 2 each side. Maybe the second time, try to tap your heel with your hand. Get those hamstrings online. Reach your booty back. Utkatasana, chair pose. If you're coming to seated, go ahead, lower your hips. If you're not, great. Use your hands on the back of the chair. Step your left foot back. Coming into warrior 2 with your right knee bent, left leg long. Get creative with what you need to do to create stability. Use the chair or don't. Breathe in. Tone your legs. Breathe out. 1 more. Breathe in. And out. Right hand's going to come to the back of the chair if you have it. Left arm overhead. If you're seated, forearm to thigh. Or maybe those of you with the chair, forearm rests on the back of the chair to deepen the stretch. Push down through your bottom arm. Wherever you are, breathe in. Breathe out. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale. Start to take your hands to the back of the chair if you're standing. Start to pivot your pelvis if you're seated. Coming into that lunge position. Again, we can hold on. We can upright the torso. We can stretch the arms up. We can also bend the back knee. So lots of options. Get creative. Empower yourself to find what works for you. It's your body, your practice. 1 more breath here in crescent lunge. Coming into airplane, so many options, hands by the side, hands on the chair, hands overhead. If you're standing, maybe you slide forward into your full warrior 3. If you're seated, maybe you try to pick up the back leg, really feel those booty muscles and hamstrings have to work. Wherever you are, hold 3, 2, and 1. Exhale slowly. If you're on the chair, just sit up. If you're standing, stand up. Nice work. We're going to make our way to our backs. So I know that's not always the most comfortable thing for people. So take your time, do what you got to do. You can use the chair or the bed to help you get down there. And make sure that you are close enough to your prop because we're going to use it 3 more times. So I have a chair with legs. So I'm going to place my feet in between the chair legs. If you don't have that, we're going to just use that as an image. But my outer edges of my feet are touching the outer edges of, or inner edges of the chair, which is approximately hip width, maybe slightly wider for me. And we're going to come all the way onto our backs, keeping our knees bent, having ourselves in close proximity to that prop. And then pushing out into the feet. So if you don't have a chair, just imagine, and again, like chair pose, push your knees out so those outer hips firm. Take your hands down by your side, pinch your shoulder blades together, and inhale, pick your hips up as high as you can for bridge pose. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. One more inhale, see if you can lift a bit higher. Push into the outer feet, push your knees out. Exhale, slowly lower down. Depending on your mobility, you might, one, bring the right outer blade of your foot to the chair or prop you have, and just send your knee as far out and down as possible, looking for an outer hip stretch. You may be able to cross the ankle over your left knee. You might be able to set the left foot on the chair, or you might be able to pull your legs close enough that you can clasp hands on your left shin or hamstrings. So all we're going for here is a stretch in our right outer hip, which will need the right knee bent and externally rotating at the hips, opening up. So deep breath in and out. One more deep breath in and out. Slowly release whatever you have and switch sides. So again, left foot, outer foot could go to the chair, left knee down, left ankle could cross over right knee and hang out here. Right foot could come to your prop, or you might be able to lift your legs close enough to your chest to hold part of your right leg. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And out. Last one, breathe in. And out. Slowly undo that. We're going to come into our final resting pose. 3 options here. One is to let the shins come over whatever your prop is. So a little bit of an inversion and elevation of the legs. Second option is to take traditional Shavasana. Just let your legs extend long. Third option, if laying on your back is uncomfortable, is to roll to one side and pause in a sort of fetal position. So find what works for you. Close your eyes. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Final efforted breath. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then let the effort of your breath end. And just let your breath come to what's called sahaja, or grace-filled breath, the automatic, involuntary breath. Give yourself permission to rest. On your next inhale, breathe in slowly. Breathe out fully. Take your time to begin the process of reawakening the body, moving fingers and toes, bending wrists and ankles, knees and elbows. And slowly starting to hug your knees either to your chest, or if it's just easier to roll over to one side, or if you have a particular way to come up to seated, feel welcome. You can sit on your chair, or you can sit on the ground. Find that neutral spine again, working towards our lumbar curve, thoracic curve, and cervical curve all in their natural spaces. Let your eyes come to a close one more time. And bring a hand to your heart and a hand to your belly. Cultivate one more time this energy of Parvati, that whatever you did on your mat today that was creative, was powerful for your body, was listening to the needs of your body, that yoga does not need to look one way to be, air quotes, right or correct. So holding yourself in this empowerment that making creative choices for your body is a powerful choice. And on your next inhale, bring your hands now to touch one another, Anjali Mudra. Bow your chin towards your chest as we give ourselves permission to empower ourselves. We then give each other permission to do the same. So as you inhale, draw the thumbs to the third eye, and exhale, bow to seal your practice. Namaste. If you joined on YouTube watching this pre-recorded class, thank you. Savannah, thanks for joining live. If you have any feedback, what I would ask is that it is solutions oriented. I am not balance challenged, so I boldly know that I might not be able to solve a lot of those issues because I don't have them, but I want to do what I can to help make yoga more accessible and not this like perfect ballet form thing. So if anything didn't work, share what didn't work in the comments, or you can shoot us an email and then give a suggestion for like, maybe try this, or this might have been easier for me, or whatever. And hopefully I'll get myself out of a job. So hopefully this will inspire someone who maybe yoga hasn't been accessible, or you want to look at yoga in a different angle, and then you will become the teacher and you can teach me how to do this better. So I hope you all enjoyed this.